Ha! Where's your pretty face at?
I am based in Carrollton, Texas.
Where are you at? Where's your face? I can't see you.
Oh, this lady. Oh, okay. And,
We're off to a great start. I hadn't even done an intro yet.
all right, I'm right there. All
Mhm.
right. Uh, tell me how
Yeah,
to work. I don't see anything for. Oh, there's the thing. Okay, it's coming up on the bottom now.
there you go. Is it your phone?
Yeah, it's my phone, and I'm not very technological advanced. Which
Oh,
one of these? Which one of these buttons do I hit to add my face to the
start
thing?
video. It should say start video.
Okay, up there it is, right there. Start video. Hey,
Ah! Damn, dude, I even got a shirt on. Come on, man.
hey, I put a shirt on.
No,
Hold
you're
on.
good. You be you. You be you. I don't care. You be you.
I'm just sitting there. I just got back from a dentist appointment with my little girl. She got her braces things all tightened up and everything looked good. She finna get ready to go to college and everything. So I wanted her to have her
Yeah.
dentist appointment before she take
All
off to go to
right.
start this fall semester, man. I
Love
mean,
it,
this my
man.
empty nester too. I mean, this
Already?
one, this the baby, man, and it is, man.
Uh,
Oh, I
eh,
tell you,
uh,
it's something, man. It's something else, boy. It is something else.
shoot. Hey, do me a favor right quick. Your
Uh-huh.
cell phone, turn it the other way.
Which way?
You're on, yeah, just turn it sideways.
It's
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
See?
Is
I
that
got I got you in full frame now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
better? You see
Damn,
me sitting
dude.
up here on my new
Uh,
hot wheel.
uh,
Can't row no more. My arm is in bad shape, and I can't do no rowing and stuff. And I
Damn,
got a
dude.
break. I need to wear 4 to 6 hours
You
a
look
day, and
like
I
an
got
old man now.
yeah, I got 4 hours in this morning. But this is what I'm in right now for the next
The hell is
8 weeks.
that? Oh, for your arm?
Arm, yeah, and
Man.
I don't do it like I'm supposed to because I want to get back active like I was doing my thing, and you can't go in there half-ass if you don't do it like you're supposed to. I already know this from life experience that if you don't have time to do it right, when do you have time to do it over?
You starting to look like the real life Iron Man now.
Shit, shit.
Dude. Well, hell, look, I got the levels. They sound good. I mean, you sound pretty good. You want to get started?
Yeah, I mean, you the interviewer, and kind of go into what you go into, and I'll
Yeah.
just tell you the story from
God
there,
dang.
man.
I
I
love
mean,
it. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. Oh yeah, I'll do a formal intro. We'll do the interview, and we'll go from there. Cool.
okay, cool. Sounds good to me.
All right, you sound good, and I'll make you sound even better in post. So, all right, bud. All right, well, what is going on, everybody? It's your girl Pam with 2200 taps. Yeah, we got a special guest today, and this guy is so special. He ain't even wearing a shirt right now. It is so hard for me to concentrate. He is. I promise, it's all G-rated, guys. Don't worry about it. This no man, but for real, this guy is. I've been trying to get him on for a while. Finally agreed to it, and I think it's because he got hurt that we now have the time in our schedules to actually do this. And we'll talk about his latest injury, but this guy is like a real life Iron Man, and I just told him before we hit record, he's starting to look like one now with all these braces and scooters and stuff that he's got. So my next guest is the one and only Keith Murphy. Keith
Hi, everybody.
Murphy. What's up, dude? So,
Doing well.
for those that don't know Keith, Keith is one of my ATF brothers, Adaptive Training Foundation, but he also goes by the nickname of the Deacon. And I have a feeling you're going to find out really soon why DV called him the Deacon and just stuck. So, Keith, thank you so much for being on today. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I feel honored to be on the show.
Hey, of course, man. It's always an honor to have you rock stars on the show. You know that. I gotta say, you're the first one I've had on without a shirt on, though. That's a first.
Leave me to break the barriers.
Yeah. Oh, there may or may not be some footage of this. I don't know, guys, but you guys listening in on the audio, don't worry about it. Just imagine just use your imagination. Yeah, man, Keith, thank you for coming on. You've got one hell of a story. You're one of the first ones I met shortly after I came to the ATF, and man, it's serious. Man, anytime you talk, we listen. You're a lot like our buddy Randy. It's just like you've got this wisdom about you. You just start preaching, you start going on a tangent, and we love that about you. And real quick for our listeners, do you mind letting them know a little bit about you, and then we're gonna get started on your story. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm Keith Murphy. I was born and raised in Dallas. Shortly after graduation, I mean, real shortly, I left and I joined the Army and stayed in the Army for a few years. And I met a truck driver in the Army and decided I was in love with her and got married to her. And me and her have been together now for almost 38 years. And we've been married for 36 years. And we've
Wow.
got 4 kids and all girls and 2 grandkids, 1 boy, 1 girl. And I mean, life has been an adventure. We've been so many different places, man, and done so many different things, man, and met so many different people, man. I mean, it's just life is what you make it. You can't sit at home and expect to go somewhere.
Mm,
In order for you to go somewhere, you have to go. You can't think about, oh, I don't have this or I don't have that. You have to make a commitment for what you want. Because, like I've told you before, if you're not willing to make a sacrifice for what you want will become the sacrifice. And it's just as simple as that. It don't get no better than that, man. I'm telling you.
mm-mm. Well, for my listeners, get ready to jot down a lot of some wisdom from this man. A lot of these quotes, man, they stick, and that was one of the ones that stuck with me. I love it. Um, Now you grew up in. You grew up in Oak Cliff, you said.
Yep, Oak Cliff, graduated from Roosevelt High School.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you actually did you join the service to get away from a lot of the stuff you were kind of into and trying to grow up a
I
little bit?
was actually on a path for the service when I was 4 years old, man. I joined the Cub Scouts, and then from the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, from the Boy Scouts to the ROTC. Like my uncles and stuff were in the Vietnam War, and I watched the war from my dad's neck. I sat on my dad's shoulders a lot, man, and held on to his forehead, man, and watched Walter Cronkite at night, talking about these boys, and I just wanted to be a soldier, this little squirt, you know what I mean? And I grew up, and the dream came true. And like I said, I was probably would have been a lifer had I not met this girl, man. And she was a service member too. She a veteran, but Army life, in my opinion, even back then when I was young, man, that Army life ain't conducive for marriage and family life
Mm,
because the missions are different, and everybody has a mission that they're on, whether they know it or not. Whenever you prioritize something, that's a mission because you got it a priority on your list, and you go make sure that it gets done. Whereas other things that should be done that's not so important to you, they won't get done. That's
mm,
because it's not a bigger priority as the first thing that is on your list. I mean, it's to me, the military structure is out here in the civilian world. There is just no dress right dress to it. You know what I mean? There is no,
mm. Good way
yeah,
to put
it's
it.
out there, but there's no real sequence and no real order to it. And in the military with that upbringing that I had, like I said, from a little 4-year-old all the way up to 17 years old, and couldn't wait for my birthday to come so I can go on and get on the plane and go to Fort Benning, Georgia, and go to infantry school and do the thing. Yeah, I mean, I was ready, man. I was ready. Everybody has their dreams and aspirations about what they want to do, and sometimes people pursue it and they pursue it to the fullest, but there's also sacrifice that comes with these dreams and aspirations.
Mm,
Because my aspiration to be a lifelong soldier is you got to make a choice, which in this world you don't get but 2 choices on every situation that you encounter in your life, and they go basically boil down to a positive or a negative. And it's up to the person in the mirror that's making the decision whether or not they're going to choose the positive or choose the negative. Because if you choose the negative, you can't blame anyone because you are the one that made the choice. And that's a lot that we got going on with our society right now. Everybody wants to point
Yeah.
the finger, saying this or that or this or they did this. This is why I know you did because of the guy in the mirror or the woman in the mirror. Has nothing to do with no one else. I mean, you got to count your blessings where they are. Just like me, man, I'll take it all the way. Like when I got hurt, you could look at it one way or the other, but you don't have but two choices. You got two choices, and you could look at it positive or you could look at it negative. So that's gonna be the difference between sitting at home mad at the world, pissed off all the time, and possibly dying because you
Mhm.
mentally killed yourself, or
Mhm.
having a shot at going to the Olympics, or going hiking, or
Mhm.
going. I mean, it is unlimited to what you can do when you put your mind to it. It's all about your priorities, man. People got two things that they always need to manage: their limitations and their priorities. It's just don't do things that are out of your range. That's your limitation. Don't put things at the top of your list that's going to take away from your quality of life versus being at the bottom of your list. I mean, don't go out here, man, and go have a vacation versus paying your rent and now you don't have anywhere to stay. I mean, it's just decisions that has to be made, man. And sometimes they're gonna hurt and they're gonna require sacrifice. I
Mhm.
mean, it's just so simple, man. We ain't gonna get away from none of the things that we first talked about, man, because everything is it intertwines and winds with itself. This is designed like this, man, by God, and that's the reason why they call me Deacon, man, because I'm always talking about God and how it went down, man. And I believe in God because I've been knowing Him since I was 3 or 4 years old. My mom introduced me to Him, and we in the South down here. Everybody went to church back in the day. Everybody church. Man, I gotta, I gotta understand. I grew up in the 70s. I ain't talking about the 80s. I grew up in the 70s. And everybody went to church. Get to church later if you want to. You'll either stand up or sit in a folding chair in the middle of the aisle. Yeah.
Oh my god. So I'm chuckling a lot, even though you're talking about good stuff, because I remember the drive that I had asked you to go with me to Louisiana to go see some old old
Oh, the softball team.
the
Yeah.
softball, my old team and teammates. And I'm laughing because you're starting to get warmed up on the Deacon, the Deacon side of you. And I remember that drive. It was like what y'all just heard was basically the entire drive. Like Keith was not even in the hotel room, Keith, like you were just like bringing it. You're like, you gotta get off duty. I'm like, what? You gotta get off duty. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
man. I was real concerned
Loved it,
about you
man.
because I have a way of seeing things. I'm sitting back in the cut and I look, just like, we had a discussion the other day, and I know that I put a lot of things on your mind, and that you know that I'm sitting back looking and that
Yeah.
I see and I'm observing and that I know. And man, bro, you were you're pulling too many shifts.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get off duty.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna wreck, and then you won't be on duty for you or anyone else. And then how bad do you think that's gonna make you feel inside yourself that all the people and things that you were doing to help is now over because you can't?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's something deep to
Mm-hmm.
think about. You have to always take care of yourself first, because if you aren't taken care of, you can't take care of anyone else. Man, self-love ain't selfish. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. How can you help somebody else if you ain't ready?
You can't help yourself.
Yeah, you got to be ready, man, and you can only take so much. And when you wear yourself down, and it's not that you're getting too much on your plate, it's just so much out here to do.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing that we're in, like I said, this is by design. We are not to be alone. We are not.
Mm-mm.
That was the first bad thing ever on the planet Earth.
What's that?
That was,
What?
yeah,
Is it?
loneliness. Adam was
I
alone.
was just gonna say Adam and Eve. Yeah.
Now, Adam was alone. Eve wasn't even invented yet. That was the problem. Wasn't nobody here for him. The old
Mm-hmm.
wicked serpent wanted to be his friend, but Adam didn't want to be friends with the serpent. He gave him his name and sent him on his way. but he still wanted to come back. But that's a whole nother different story, man.
I'm telling you, you get on the soapbox, you be preaching for like 3 hours before we know it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but
Yeah,
I
but
love it.
that was the first bad thing on the earth, man. Was Adam was alone, man, and we are not designed here to be alone. We're not designed here to make it through this life alone. We didn't
Mm,
come here alone. We got here and there was somebody here.
yeah.
Everybody need a hand up. There is one, no one that didn't need a hand up. I don't, even if you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, somebody had to take a hand and put that spoon into your mouth. Yeah,
Hey,
man.
hey, well, that's a good segue. Let's segue to your story, man. That's pretty much what happened, man. You enlisted, you married the love of your life, then
Mm-hmm.
you were a truck driver, right?
Yep,
Yourself, you
yep.
became a truck driver. Now, let's talk about your accident, man. I mean, that's people can't see you, and the ones that can only see you literally from the chest up. But
Mhm.
your injuries were every single, damn near every single bone of your body and your legs.
Yeah.
So what? And guys, like I would tell you what happened, but this man has a way with words. So I'm gonna let him tell you what happened. What did happen when you went out that sunny day, rainy day, whatever day it was? What'd that look
This is how
like?
I'll take you back to that day. It was a Tuesday morning, early, about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm,
Get up, I get down to the yard, get the 18 wheeler all ready and stuff. By this time, it's 7 o'clock. Sun's up, everybody drink coffee, hanging around. There's nothing coming in. There's nothing coming in. So by 9, still nothing coming in. And the boss says, hey man, if y'all want to, I can take out and have a day off if y'all want to. And they talking to the drivers and some of the mechanics and stuff because ain't nothing being, I work for a construction company. I haul highway equipment and highway like bulldozers and backhoes and all that kind of stuff
mm,
and trench boxes and but anyway, we was off that day. So I get in my regular truck and I drive back to the house and I get home, man, it's probably about I'll say 10 o'clock, 10:30. I would already had a good breakfast and everything. And I was like, well, man, you know what? It's a beautiful day. It's August in Texas. Sun in the sky, fluffy clouds, man. You know what? I'm gonna take the bike out, man. And I was like, well, you know what? I got a couple shirts I want to have customized. I'm in a motorcycle club and stuff. And I can have custom gear, put my name on it and stuff right there and all the different colors and stuff. I was gonna take some shirts over there and have them customized and stuff. So I jump on the bike and put all the stuff in the bike. I got this little compartment underneath the seat that I put the shirts in and stuff. And so I'm all tucked up, get my gear on and stuff. I'm riding, easy, nice day. I decided not to even get on the highway. We got back streets that flanks the highways around here that run parallel with them. So I was going, instead of going down 45 south, I was going down 310 south. As I was headed south, this woman was text messaging somebody and she ran a light coming north and ran the light going west and hit me in the intersection T-bone style. Broke my neck, broke my back, broke my hip, broke my pelvis, amputated my left leg, collapsed my lung, 7 ribs were broken, dislocated my shoulder, lacerated my kidney. I woke up out of a coma 8 days later and I was paralyzed, could not move, could not do, man, it was bad. I couldn't go to the bathroom for myself, couldn't eat for myself. I was just laying in the bed looking up at the ceiling, man. And it was some ugly, dark days, man, because I was
mm,
asking all the questions, God, why this, why that? I mean, am I gonna ever do this? Am I ever gonna do that? And I stayed like that for about almost 3 months, man. And in early October, I started to get feelings because this happened in late August. So basically, all of September, the last part of August, all of September, and the first of October, I was just dead. And I mean, not moving for yourself. You in what's called in the hospital and stuff. You got the nurses in there coming to take care of you, man. It is so embarrassing in the first couple of weeks,
mhm.
man. But then you stand and start to realize, man, this gonna be your life because the first week that went by. Another week then went by. Another week then went by, and then you ain't having no changes. So, man,
Mm,
kept praying every day and counting ceiling tiles, and then started counting the holes in the ceiling tiles. And I mean, man, it just
mhm,
one day, man, it was just. It started with a glass of water that was sitting in front of me. They had propped me up and everything, man. And my hands was right in front of me and everything. And it was a glass of water sitting on the table. I mean, not even 9 inches away from me. And I wanted it bad, but I couldn't move and I couldn't get it. I kept looking at the glass and I kept looking at the glass and I kept looking at the glass. And I finally got my hand up onto that table and scooted over to that glass. And I tried to pick that glass up. It shook out of my hand and threw water all over the place, but that was a first sign of me having some kind of nerve movement back.
So
And
you
that was,
you weren't moving. You weren't moving at all for a few
um,
weeks.
I'm talking about bad to the bone, as in everything having to be taken care of. We go feed you. We'll take care of your urine. We'll take care of your bowels. I mean, this was a bad situation, man.
Yeah.
Was not happy about it at all, but my faith was still there. My faith was still there because I had already, come to the realization that they thinking that you ain't gonna never walk again, not only because your back broke, your neck broke, but your leg gone too. So,
Mm,
all right, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. So the hand movement got the neurologist guy to come up in there and he started checking nerves. He had this like spoon looking thing in his pocket and he jammed it in the heel of my foot. Felt sharp pains in the lower part of my back, man. And that's when he said, "Well, we're gonna take you up and we're gonna do a CT scan." Da, da, da. And he started doing all these tests and looking at stuff and poking and prodding and this and that. And they was like, swelling in your spine has gone down. We're hoping for the best, is all they told us, because every
mm,
spinal cord injury, you can have the exact same injury as somebody, man, and y'all gonna be totally different in the way you
mhm,
are. I had several people with the same exact injury as me, but they're not where I'm at. You know what I
mm.
mean? Where they're at. We have a lot of similarities, but we're just not the same. But you got the same injury. So then they moved me out of the hospital over to the rehab. And I spent 4 weeks in there cussing and being pissed off before I even sat up in the bed on my own and slid off the bed onto a wheelchair to even think about going to rehab class. They have rehab scheduled for you throughout the day, 3 times a day while you're in there and stuff. Man, I wasn't going to none of that for the first 3 to 4 weeks. I went to nothing, none. And then one day they had something I didn't like to eat. So I was gonna go down to another floor to see what they had to eat down there. Not thinking that the hospital they always serve the same thing on all the floors in the same cafeteria.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking that way. I'm just thinking I go to another floor, maybe they serving something else, man. Please, man, I wanted something else to eat. Not very big on hospital food. I had people sneaking me food in and all that kind of stuff too. But man, my attitude changed when the elevator doors opened. Because I seen people down there that were really, really like, I had got to the point where I could put my own shirt on and I could almost go to the bathroom by myself. At this time, I was still with a Foley catheter on my leg so I could
Mm,
empty it out when it was supposed to be emptied and all that kind of stuff. But I could actually go, had got my bowels back to a point where I could probably go by myself if I eat the right things and drink enough water. I mean, this was a bad situation, but I know I put my shirt on that day. I know I put my shoe on that day. Put my pants on that day. I got myself out the bed and into the chair that day. That was the day that I went to
mm.
rehab. But then when I rolled off the elevator, I mean my whole mind about everything changed. That's where I feel like my real faith kicked in, and not just the faith in me, like, okay, I believe, Lord, but when you gonna make me better without doing the work? You know what I'm saying? Just make me better, just make me better. What happened? Why this?
So what?
Rolled out,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
tried to ignore it.
What's that?
My phone trying to ring.
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
Uh when I rolled off the elevator, which is other patients in rehab doing their thing, my attitude changed because I realized how fortunate that I was because that they didn't get dressed by themselves. And,
Someone calling you?
yeah, we had a friend that's away the day before yesterday, man.
Oh, damn, dude, I'm sorry.
Rangers and all that kind of stuff. It's man, I know it ain't happening today, so I'll get back with them later.
I got you.
But man, I've seen so many people that yes, you're doing your thing, but I'm fortunate to be able to do my thing, and my thing is a little bit more than your thing. And I just seen where the real blessing was, man. And I got out of that attitude of why me and why this, and just accepted what it was, man, because it was a real eye opener. You had people down there blowing in straws, man, to move around in a electronic wheelchair. At least I did have an arm where I could move my own wheelchair, man. It was just a lot of reality that hit me. I mean,
So people like quadriplegics and stuff like that, and
some quads down there, man. It was some people like me missing one leg. It was people missing two legs, people missing one arm, people missing two arms. I mean, it was just we had an
yeah.
array of people down there because I was at Baylor Scott White downtown Dallas.
Okay.
And man, it was an eye opener for me, man. Kind of like when people come to ATF and their eyes are open after they come in there and they see us. I know you've probably talked to somebody that's been to ATF for the first time, and you know they are sitting there and they're saying, "Wow, I can't."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I talked to one the other day at Sweaty Sour.
yeah, and that's how I was at my first day of rehab, and I just got my mind made up that okay, I'm gonna get out of rehab, and you know, you're still weak because you're in the hospital, you ain't eating good foods, and you ain't got no real exercise program
Yeah.
because, you know, you have lost a lot of body mass and muscle. Man, I mean, I went from 180 to 120.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of weight gone, lots of weight lost. You know, I was on dialysis 3 times a week, man. It was a rough battle getting out of that hospital, but getting out, that was my freedom. Especially after the first day I went to rehab as Baylor Scott White, man. I mean, it opened my eyes, man, to a whole nother different way of looking at things. It changed my perspective. That's what I can say. I had to look at things a different way, man, because the way I was looking at them was not the correct way. It just no, this you are not going to make it looking in this direction. You have to change your focus. The compass got to be reset. I mean, your bearings are off, and you need to do a check. You know what I mean? I check myself, man. It's
So
life.
yeah, well, let me ask you this: how did you get connected with ATF?
I saw Brian F. on a pamphlet in the hospital before I even made it to rehab. And I had already looked them up on the website and everything. And since they were in Carrollton, I felt like as soon as I was strong enough to feel like going to a gym to maybe do a little round of workout, I was going to go. And this is where I call divine intervention. Because when I did decide that I was strong enough and I wanted to go, ATF was finna get ready to start class 15. And it was the last week that someone could sign up and that they had to be a veteran. And I went in there on a Wednesday and everything had to be done by Friday. So I rushed and got all the paperwork, got my DD 214 together and everything. Just, man, rushed everything. Fill out everything I needed to fill out. I got into that class, man. And never look back. Never look back. I mean, the adventure scene, it's been 6 years now. Yeah,
It's 6
yeah,
amazing years, I'm sure.
yeah. Oh, yeah, it has been, man. It has been.
So you
They,
went, huh?
they ain't over with.
We're still going. So you show up at ATF, right?
Uh-huh.
Completely different from the man that I've known the past 4 years, 4+ years. Um, dude, like guys, if you met Keith or you just like, because you go to the gym every now and then, you'll pop in, and next thing you know, you're like climbing the rope to damn
Yeah.
ceiling. Well, you do some wild stuff, man. And that wasn't you when you went to ATF.
No, it wasn't, because before ATF, before the accident, I was a football, baseball, basketball player. I rode motorcycles, I rode horses, I skied. You know, I did all that kind of stuff, man. But I didn't go to the gym much because I was so active, I didn't have to go to the gym. Basically working out almost every day anyway, from
Mm,
stuff that you're doing. So I led a real active life, and my daughters were wrestlers and swimmers. So, you know, I worked out with them a lot. I mean, I stayed in good shape, man. I think that's part of what happened, saved my life too during
yeah.
the accident. Yeah. And before the accident, I hadn't had a drink or a smoke in 5 to 7 years, man. Me and my wife were
Mm,
trying to calculate exactly when it was that I quit smoking, man. But I had quit smoking and I quit drinking long, way long before I got into the accident. And I feel like that was a help to me during the accident, or, you know, all these surgeries that you got to have and all this stuff that your pressure, your body got to be under, man, for the next however long you're in shape and you're prepared for it.
mm-hmm.
It was a good thing, and it's all divine intervention,
Mm.
man. Because you trusting in the Lord to direct your path, man. And when He directing your paths, that's everything. That's in the food you eat, the people you hang around with, the place you go, the place you work, everything, man. Everything. If you're trusting in Him like that, but if you're not, you're on your own. And being on your own in this world, man, is real not.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really,
hard.
it's a hard thing.
So walk us through your journey, man, real quick. Walk us through your 9 week journey with ATF, because so much more came after you graduated your program.
Yeah. Uh, the ATF journey, man, was just killer, man. I mean, I had Talavilla Lobos was my primary trainer, and she had a program that was written out of this world, man, to strengthen me both upper and lower body. Man. I feel like she did a fantastic job. I mean, even the day of graduation, we were up in the gym for 5 hours before graduation, man, busting it out, man. So it's
Dang.
just, you know, she had a dynamic program for me, man. It really got me into good shape, and a lot of different videos that, you know, how ATF do the videos,
Mm,
present the athletes and stuff like that. I got
mm.
seen by a few people, man, and invited me up to the Olympic team, man. I mean, it was a good run, man. And then COVID hit, and it kind of put a damper on everything and shut a lot of things down that I had going on, man. Because I was doing a lot of speaking. I was speaking for Gateway Church, man,
Oh,
and it
really?
just yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
that. Well,
Pastor Jimmy Evans, man, and you know, it's been a bunch of controversy with the church here lately and all that
yeah.
kind of. It's like it's just so much going on, and it's just like me and my wife talked about that too. That was divine intervention that COVID came and it stopped this and it stopped that, so you wouldn't be associated with that, and then you would be having a bad life because you got to everybody that's associated with it, whether they did anything or not, people are
Mm-hmm.
frowning, man. They
Mm-hmm.
frowning on, it. And I just rather not have that kind of publicity because everybody say good old publicity is good publicity. No, it ain't. No,
Mm-hmm.
it. Ain't. So
Well, I got to tell you, I've been kind of going back even up to your Olympic journey, right?
hmm
You were still healing, you're still recovering. I remember the American Warrior Association, those guys, and
yeah,
I bring them up because I interviewed uh, Jason a while back about AWA,
the
and
Dickens.
yeah, Jason Dickens, a sweetheart. And I know you were there with a bunch of our guys that we know and adore.
Mhm.
What was that trip? Man, all I remember, and I bring it up because of this, I remember photos of you being carried by these
Yep.
guys, whether you were being fireman carried or you're being like, what was that like for you? Because you don't even look the same physically since then. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I man lost even more weight. Uh,
But just that whole like experience climbing a mountain with these guys and being out there with them.
Yeah, that was it. They was like, if you want to go with us, man, you going. You up because they was like, are you up for a horse ride to the top of the mountain? I was like, yeah, I ride a horse up there. He said, what about when it get rough? Can we carry you? And I was like, yeah, if I can't hop, I'll hop as far as I can hop and do what it needs to be done to get me up there, man. Because I'll go. And it's like they ask you that, man, because people don't realize for somebody to carry you, every time somebody takes a step, you get punched in the stomach.
Hmm.
Every step that someone takes, you get punched in the stomach because you're on their shoulder, and your shoulder is right, your gut is right on their shoulder. And when their foot hits the ground, the shoulder goes up right into your stomach.
Mm.
So it was a constant punching in the stomach all the way down. And then for a little while, we stopped and we put some straps together and some ash trees. We knocked down some small ash trees and put some straps together and made kind of like a lean-to thing. Had two guys in the front carried it, two guys in the back, and I was just sitting on it, man. I mean, they
Yeah.
did me like a king, man. They took good care of me, man. And my man Josh Sager, man, I can't say enough about him. I was tired and stuff by the time we had got to the top, and we had 3/4 of the way to go back down. Josh carried me all the way down by himself.
Did he really?
And it was soon after he had surgery on his hips, man. I mean, we was all
Yeah.
fresh, man. We was all fresh being hurt. Everybody was fresh. No,
Dude.
I don't think nobody was a year out. No one. I don't think no one was a year out from their injury.
Oh
And
my
man,
God.
man, he crushed it. That Josh Sager is my man.
Man, I love Josh. Like, if y'all knew Josh, like his story, you'd be like, he did that with what? You know, that just
Yeah,
blows my mind. That's
I'm
amazing.
telling you, man. Josh was fresh. With all of us were fresh, man.
Ah, that warms my heart. It
Yeah,
warms my
everybody
heart.
just got hurt, man, but we was out there wrapped up in such a tight unity, man. And I mean, to this day, man, everybody that was there is still in contact with everybody except for I haven't heard from Alex in a long time.
Mhm.
And let me see who else was there, but everybody else, yeah, on a regular basis, we see him. You know what I mean?
Mhm. It's
On
a
a
good
regular
crew.
basis.
It's a
I mean,
good crew.
the tribe was one of the best things ever to happen to me after this injury because there was so many people there that were injured before me that had so much experience with being injured that
Mhm.
helped me so much along the way. Because this is something that a lot of people don't know. The very first shower that I took at my house, man, I flooded my bathroom, man.
Are you serious?
Did not know how to, get in there with the leg and the chair and all that, man.
Oh
I
my
basically had
God, dude.
running out on the floor, basically, is what it looked like. Is yeah, yeah. But some adaptation,
Oh man.
hey man, and key points at people, and hey man, do this, don't do that. It's just
Mhm.
having a family around you, man, to help you the way they helped is priceless, man. I mean, when I tell you they help heal your mind, body, and soul, man, that was a real good thing to happen to me, and that's why I still go there to this day, man. I'll never stop going to ATF.
Yeah.
Man, building a nice big old place, man. I don't care how far it is away from me. I will be driving out there to it, man.
And you
Because
do.
huh?
I said, and you do, man. You show up, get in a little workout, show off, because you be like I said, you're climbing that rope and doing all this other stuff with one
That's it.
leg and
All that was,
best.
preparation for the Spartan event. And one, I did Spartan
Mhm.
races and Tough Mudders, and I mean, man, we do it. I mean, then had some good teams, man. Had some good runs, and man, it just you like I say, that was the positive that I picked because the other side of that was not going to ATF and sitting at home and like I said, being mad about being hurt
Mhm.
and thinking you the only one. And it's just that's what I feel bad for people who get hurt and they think that they're the only ones and you're not, man. It's a truck
So many.
of us out here.
Mhm.
Okay. And everybody has something that they can tell you about what you are going through that they went through, and they can help you with it, man. But if you want to shut yourself off, taking that negative side and try to isolate it and do it on your own, you
Don't
ain't gonna
work.
be feel
Don't
like
work.
it's yeah. I feel like it shortens your life too, man, because stress can kill you.
Hmm.
Stress can kill you, man. I've been around a minute, and I've seen what it can do, how it ages people, and how it just takes them out, man. It works harder on your organs and everything, man. I just choose not to. I got way too many kids and grandchildren and stuff to watch, man. I got to get old and watch stuff happen, man.
You gotta be around, man.
I got to be around, man. My grandson, man, is 8 years old in the third grade. Is man, my granddaughter 6 years old in the first grade. They smart, moving on up, and you add 10 years on, man. That means my grandson will be in his first, second year of college, and my granddaughter will be a junior in high school. In 10 years, you know for a fact is a how it pops by.
Hmm.
Because think about 2014, and we at 2024 right now. 2014 wasn't that long ago.
I was
It
just talking
was.
to one of the guys at the gym who's 23. I think it was Brendan. I think he said it was 23. I'm like, yeah, well, hang on, because tomorrow you're gonna wake up and be 42.
See?
It just goes by so fast. I'm like,
Ah,
damn,
man. And it's like
damn.
look up and be like, whoa, I need to buy a house. I need
Hmm.
it comes quick, man. It
Need to have
comes
babies. I was talking to my
and
doctor this morning about that stuff.
these
Same
babies
thing.
make it go by real fast. 'Cause I swear to God, man, I have an image of my daughter right now that's gonna get ready to go to college, man, in my mind that she used to be so sassy with me and stuff. She wore sunglasses all the time, and I would talk to her. She would let them down off her face and look at me over her.
Damn. Well,
You
Kate,
create better.
well, you unfortunately I have to like call this out. If they could see you on YouTube, they'll be able to see it. You're sitting on a scooter right now,
Y'all,
and you just showed me an arm brace that you're going to be wearing very soon if you're not already wearing it.
yeah,
Ye-
I wear it 4 hours a day. I try to get it out the way in the morning
Yeah.
so my arm kind of be free, but it needs to be mobilized for a while. And I got these exercises that I gotta do to make that muscle release,
Hmm.
away from that bone and let that nerve out of there. And it's been working too. It's been
Good.
working. It's like I got a little chart that I'm keeping, man, of how many days it's been, man. It's only been like 12 days, and I got all these days. Can you see this right here?
Yeah, on spiral notebook paper.
Few
He
days
literally
ago,
drew out a little
man.
calendar.
Yeah, I'm old school. Yeah, I wrote it down. I ain't got by counting
Well,
me
you just
now.
said you couldn't even show your face earlier. You're like, I'm not technologically savvy, so you still
And I ain't
learning.
been all this stuff and trying to do this and do that. Make a video for me. I do good to get a reel out there, man. I be proud of myself when I
That's awesome.
add a little music to a couple pictures and stuff. Yes, I was fortunate enough to be around when all this stuff was invented. So
Yeah.
I'm real savvy on it, but I got a familiarization with it. I kind of know
Hmm.
a little something about it, but I'll ask in a hobby, which one of these buttons you got to click? And where the buttons at? Because sometimes you got to touch it a certain way to make the buttons come up and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
But I'll try to keep up. I try to keep up, man, because if you
Uh,
go get left behind, you'll be somewhere licking stamps trying to pay your bill when you could have pushed the button on your damn phone, man. I mean, yeah, yeah. I still know
uh,
checks, man. And I still got a checkbook, man, but I ain't wrote one. Oh, yeah, I did. I wrote one to the IRS this year. I
oh
had to
shit.
pay them.
What?
Yeah, I'm bad. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's
Oh
bad.
my God.
It's
Damn,
bad. I
dude.
hate the IRS, man. I figure like I
Uh-huh. That's
don't.
highway robbery, man. It's freaking
Hmm.
insane. But real quick, so I want to back up. So you're on a scooter, you got the arm brace, and I say all that because you've been so active since you graduated 6 years ago. Like every time I turn around or any event I go to, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be there. Whether you're, riding your Can-Am, or I think I asked you if you wanted to be help out in a parade with a local VFW. Like, you are just everywhere, to
Yeah.
an adaptive scuba organization, to this, to, I mean, I could just name it.
Yeah.
And one thing you got yourself into, which is not a bad thing, I think it was the coolest shit ever. You tag teamed with Edwin to go hand cycling
Yes.
from basically Dallas, Texas to Denver, Colorado. Was that the first run? Something like
That was
that?
that was the first run. We ran from Red Oak, Texas to Colorado Springs.
Hand cycle, like with their
Yeah.
hands, dude, on those,
Yeah.
was it a tricycle?
With our arms just like this.
What kind of bike is that? What's it called?
Uh, it is called a
Or
hand
is it the
cycle.
recumbent or hand
No,
cycle?
recumbent is what you pedal with your legs.
All right,
Yeah,
but
this is
it's your hand
actually,
cycle.
yeah, because you're pedaling with your hands, and ain't no way for you to pedal it with your legs. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true,
Because of
because you only got one, and Edwin's a quad.
yeah, exactly,
That's so true. So,
exactly.
and that was something I wanted to highlight, because that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen anybody do, let
Yeah,
alone you with one leg and Edwin being a quadriplegic. And you
yeah,
guys freaking made it.
we made it,
What was
man.
what was that like? Because I want to get to what you just did that got you hurt.
Yeah, exactly, man. It was an adventure, almost like a frat boy party, man. I mean, because I'm talking about we ride all day, eat good at night, and wake up in the morning. It's kind of like I was like the motivator dude, because I wake up in the morning with loud music, jamming some kind of jam to motivate us for the day. And I'd already been and got up early and went and got everybody breakfast, man. And I always like staying at nice hotels that have meat for breakfast. I don't like staying at places that don't serve meat on the breakfast menu, man. I'm from Texas. We eat meat down there,
Yeah,
okay?
meat, and you need your protein, so it's a win-win.
Keep trying to tell people I'm a vegetarian. That's why I eat so much steak, man. I mean, cows eat grass, and I eat cow.
I love
Yeah,
it.
but man, it was we like I say, we ride all day, man, and some of the highlights of it was having these big football boys come in to ride one day with us after we had already rode 500 miles, man, and they rode with us and they couldn't even eat their dinner because their arms were so tired. And they rode with their legs, man. But now 50, 60 miles a day, man, your body becomes used to it unless you get something going wrong, like you're pinching a nerve, man. But it was, man, I would like still be on the ride right now with them, because I think they are going either through Missouri or Iowa right now. I
Mm,
had checked with them this morning to see where they at, man. But they coming all the way across America, man, from
yeah,
Portland, Oregon, Washington D.C. And it's a hump, man. Some of those hills in Oregon, man, were 20 miles straight uphill.
god
Just
dang,
up,
dude.
yeah, man. But I really enjoyed myself on this ride and that ride, man. I mean,
This
man,
man, this man talking about he's from Texas and he's drinking out of a Whataburger styrofoam cup right
yeah.
now.
Yes, man, I went up there. If I told you, me and my baby went to lunch up there, I got me a big old chicken sandwich with them jalapenos on there. Yeah, hook it up. Hook it up. Yeah.
Oh man,
I don't think, can you
shit.
get Whataburger anywhere but Texas?
Yeah, it's spread out, but I mean, that was like the timing was perfect on that one.
It's
Uh,
funny.
so you, so you guys
We
did that, huh? Was
we
that?
eat meat.
We eat meat, damn it. Oh God. So you guys got done with that ride. You guys successfully went from point A to point B, which was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Then then you guys were like, yeah, you guys were training for another ride, but only this time it was going to be across America. Portland, Oregon to where again?
Washington D.C.
Washington, D.C. And you
Oh,
you started with the crew.
yeah.
You did
Started with
start.
them. I started. I did 9 days out there riding, and then another week riding in the van, hoping my shoulder would get better, man. And it was just nah. it ain't gonna get better. And
Mm-mm.
man, it would just be, if you could leave and go back, it would be easier for us and such. And I was like, cool, man. So the next place that we got on an airplane and came back home, went to the emergency room and found out why my arm was hurting, because I have a ulnar nerve that is caught between a bone and a muscle because I had a muscle spasm. And that sucked. Y'all ain't got something that y'all can make it spasm and pop it out of there. I mean,
You know, and y'all practice medicine for a reason. Find
yeah,
something.
it's like, I know if this was in the NFL, I know y'all get me back on the field and my hand would be all right. I would pay you for it. I ain't trying to get it for free. Just fix it, man. Oh,
Well,
you need to wait and do this such and such for 8 weeks, and it was this, that. We'll x-ray it, see if it moved out, and da. So, and then the main thing is this trap muscle up here. It's got it caught between this right there where it goes over, man, and it cuts off the circulation to my hand, and my, like, these 3 fingers were numb, and I couldn't feel my hand through here, and felt like my elbow had got hanged up against something that ain't funny, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then I had after I started wearing the brace, I think the third time I wore the brace, I got the feeling back in my middle finger, man, and that really made me like, okay, I'm gonna stick to the regimen as bad as I hate it. And a lot
Mm.
of times when I have to put the brace on, I'll put it on and go to sleep, man, just so it'll be mobilized and I don't have to be up with it like that. I'll wake up and then I'll be able to take the brace off. But
Damn,
I'm going
dude.
gonna do this treatment like he said, man, because I ain't getting no younger and I want my arm and my hand back fully. Not no 60, 70, 80%. I want the whole arm and whole hand back like it used to be. I want it to work like it used to. And if that don't bring it all the way back to where I get everything back, he said there's surgery that they could do to where they go in there and they manually move it out. And it's like, I don't want to go through that either, because now
Mm.
I got to go through the healing up where you cut a hole in my arm. And I don't know if they got some kind of laser they could use or do it. I don't know, but I'm not going to be feeling,
Mm.
that right there feels so good.
He's
Yeah.
stretching his neck a little bit.
Yeah, I stretch my neck out, man. You feel it pull, man, and it just, and when I can tell when it's really working, man, when I can feel it come all the way down to my hand, man.
Have you go to the gym and use one of the Theraguns? Can you not use a Theragun?
Yeah, I got one.
Oh
Yeah,
shit, of course you do.
like I got two.
Shit. Well, and for those that don't realize, Keith, if he's in his chair, he's usually in his chair,
Yeah,
and you can't roll your chair when you got a fucked up
yeah,
arm.
yeah. I mean, and see, that wasn't doing nothing but irritating it. Every time you roll the chair, I mean, and it's like, it ain't gonna get no
Such a
better. You told me you got to get out of that chair, and you got to just, your arm got to be mobile. I even got a sling sometimes, man, because when I'm awake, I still be trying to reach at stuff and do this, man. Put it
yeah.
in. I put it in the brace and put it in the sling, and it makes me just, okay, you can't move it, you can't move it. And do you know I'll be actually putting a timer or a stopwatch on it, man? So I know when this 6, 8 hours is up, I'm out of this thing right here, right now.
I believe it.
Man, but
I think I think the biggest test for you is when you go back to try to climb that rope again. That'd be a big one.
yeah,
And you'll
yeah,
do it. I was just gonna see, and here it is again. It's like this shit just came at you again. And
yeah,
where's your mindset? You know?
yeah. It's like, I'm going up there again. It's just, will I be going up pain free? Because whether it hurt or not, I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You don't let it stop you, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Till it's so much pain to where it's, now it's affect, your arm hurts so bad, now it's your head hurt. Yeah, you gotta know your limitation. We talked about that earlier.
Hmm.
And to my limitations, okay, okay. Because now I feel like now you're gonna get injured if you keep trying, you know what I mean? It's hurting for a reason. It is hurting for a reason. And if you keep going and keep trying to push through, because there's only so much push through anybody has. And once you get to a certain point, it's not pushed through anymore. It's an injury, which is where I'm at. But we gonna heal and we coming back. For sure, for sure.
I love that, man. Well, before we wrap it up, it's been a pretty awesome interview. You got some Deacon wisdom for our listeners who, man, who feel like they got nothing left in the tank, man. You got any words of wisdom for them? Any thoughts?
Yes, I do. It ain't never over. Because if it was over, you wouldn't know nothing about it. But as long as you were here and you were conscious, it ain't over. And the only thing that you have to do is make the positive selection. Because I'll break it down to you, man, from the planetary concept and spectrum of it. This is planet Earth. It is a 3-dimensional planet, which means every situation that you come involved with, there will only be 2 choices. There is no gray area in the middle. A yes has to be yes, a no has to be no. You know, in certain languages, there is no such thing as almost, maybe. Only English has words like that. Because either you do or you don't. The Bible even specifically says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. So with 2 choices, it breaks down another cosmetic. This will either go be a positive choice or a negative choice. And it's up to the person making the choice of which one that they want. And they're going to have to live with it because every success and every failure starts and begins in the mirror. Can't nobody push you over the top to be number 1. You have to do that. Can't nobody push you down and push you out. You have to quit. It is impossible for you to win if you quit. Because one thing for sure, a winner never quits and a quitter never wins. It's so simple.
I love it. I love that. Mic drop. Mic drop. Dude, I love it, man.
Just real talk, man. Keeping it simple, man. I mean, and I say what I say, man, because I've been on both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to make a bad choice, man, and have to live with that bad choice. I know what it's like to make a good choice and live with that. And I'm gonna tell you, these years I done been out here, man, I was young when I learned that I could not afford to make bad choices. Because bad choices just cost. They really do. It could be monetary, it can be love, it could be friendship, it could be material things. But when you make a bad choice, you're gonna lose something. And I just don't want to suffer no L's, as the young folks say. Can't take that L. I don't want the L. Yeah. So make better choices, you know. Yeah, I know the one that I hear all the time. What they say, play stupid game, win stupid prize.
You ain't never heard that?
And it made me laugh so hard. Okay, yeah. But I get it. I get it. And it's so simple. Did you not get that? Yeah.
That might be the title to your show right there. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Tell you. I am trying to tell you.
Well, Keith, you've been a joy, man. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come on the show. It's been
Appreciate you
good.
for having me. And you can have me anytime, man.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I gotta come see you anyways at some point. I know you were trying to recover, so might have to stop by and take your bike out for a ride.
Man, I took it out yesterday, man, just for a spin around the block, man. I seen Colin, man. I was like, oh man.
In his Jeep.
Yep. He was right by me as I was making a turn. He's like, yo, oh man.
Oh my God, man.
I wanted to get some sunshine, man, and stretch my arm because I hadn't been out the house, man, in probably 7 days. Yeah.
Shoot, we need to get your ass out. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Take you to
Hey,
the
you know,
truckyard. Hmm?
Road Warriors trying to have a ride down here in Texas in October.
Dude, sign me up. I haven't been able to make the last two, and I really want to go on this one. So I don't know what I need to do, but I'm in.
I'll send you a link because they got it on Facebook. If you look on the Facebook page for a Road Warrior,
Okay,
it's on there. They got link. Man, I signed my form up the day before yesterday.
I'm in. I'm in. Oh,
And
dude, well, I'm in. I'm so in right now. I'm gonna.
uh, and it's October 4th through the 12th. I think it's a Friday through a Sunday or Friday through a Saturday. It's
Don't
a Friday.
matter. I'm in. Let's make it
Yeah,
happen.
I'll send you a link.
All right. Well, on that note, let's. I'm gonna say goodbye to my listeners, but we can keep chatting. Okay.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
I'm just glad they got to hear a little like conversation that it's our everyday conversation. But you doing this? You signing up for this? I mean, that's literally what we do. I freaking love it.
Yeah.
But thanks again, Keith. I'm gonna sign off for my listeners.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Keith Murphy, the Deacon. Hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. And you guys get ready because we got amazing guests coming up. I have a special guest for episode 69, and he doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to invite him and hopefully we can get him on it because there's a lot behind that. Anyhow, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you soon. So peace out. Sick, dude. So sick. So sick. Oh man, let me stop this recording. Let me stop this recording.